Assassin's Creed 1, good. Black Plague, good. Rest of them, not good.
Hey,
and Hogwarts Legacy still sucks. I don't know why there's been more stuff coming out about how amazing Hogwarts Legacy is, but I continue to be very firm in it's bad and shouldn't exist and doesn't exist. And I feel the same way about everything related to Assassin's Creed except those 2 games that I said. And I'm including the Michael Fassbender movie in that.
Oh, no.
Trash.
Oh, no. Good. I think. I think I'm getting, or I am sick, but like I don't feel like ill.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yep. You have a general cold, you would say.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a fever, I don't have a headache. Outside of like that one night that we were there, I was like not feeling good at all.
Yeah.
But like since then, I'm like headache is fine, like no headache, no fever, but just sinuses are just horrible. I have a cough that I can't get rid of. It's really annoying, but it was a fun time. And I would do it. Do it again. I would do it again.
Who would have thought that going somewhere that like 125,000 people from literally every part of the world. How many?
135 officially.
135. I mean, no way anyone there was sick.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, just
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Think about it, don't think about it is what I would say.
Yeah. This is the DMGT podcast. I am your host, Danny.
And I'm Spencer.
Spencer, this is technically not a cold open because we just cold open, but this is a prompt for you.
Okay, because I was going to say, wait, talking about CES was your big cold open that you had for me? Okay, because you were like, I have a surprise. And I'm like, it better not be that. That was a bad surprise. That good.
Is a bad surprise. I'm going to list out 2 names, and then you have to pick one. Oh, it did the balloon thing. I hate when Google does that. And then we're just going to keep it going. And
how did you do that?
I don't know. I don't know why it did that.
I don't know why it did it. Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3 or the second stage Turbine Blade?
Danny.
And just name one. Just name one.
I have to just say one of them?
Yep.
Am I choosing
one
of them?
You're choosing, yes.
Okay, you can't. Now, is there more to this game?
Yes,
or is
there's
it
more
just
to this game. Choose, Spencer. You have to choose.
Right now, I'm going to go In Keeping Secrets. I can't. I feel bad about that.
In Keeping Secrets, No World for Tomorrow.
In Keeping Secrets.
In Keeping Secrets, Vaxxus 2.
In Keeping Secrets.
In Keeping Secrets, Good Apollo.
Oh man, this sucks. This really sucks. Oh, I gotta go in. I gotta go In Keeping Secrets.
In Keeping Secrets, Year of the Black Rainbow.
In Keeping Secrets. That one's an easier one.
That's fair. In Keeping Secrets, No World for Tomorrow.
Still In Keeping. Yeah.
In Keeping Secrets, The Color Before the Sun.
Definitely. I honestly barely listen to that album. Okay. I do love them.
In Keeping Secrets.
It's technically not part of the story. So.
The Unheavenly Creatures.
In Keeping Secrets.
All right. One more then. In Keeping Secrets, The Aftermath Ascension.
The Afterman, Ascension and Descension.
Afterman.
It's actually a double LP released about 3 months apart, but technically released all together. And if I put them all together, it's still in Keeping Secrets. But literally almost all of these are so close, but I just can't. Man, that was hard and I hated that. It hurt my feelings.
So it's in Keeping Secrets. That's the only album that survives. The rest of them are gone. That was the game.
Yeah, I mean, if that has to happen, I'm glad that one is there. But brutal stuff. We will be doing this with Linkin Park at some point soon in the future.
I knew you would enjoy that. For those that are unaware, these are all Coheed and Cambria albums, and I saw a trend. I've been seeing this trend on TikTok where
who wouldn't know that?
I've been seeing this trend where like the people come up to random other people and just like list out things like this. Not always albums. Sometimes it's like food dishes. So it's like they'll go up to an Italian person and be like a margarita pizza, and then they'll list out like all the different pizzas, and it's very fun to see people when like two of their favorites go to head struggle as much as you just did. It's very entertaining.
Yeah. Honestly, and this is not a topic we have, but I'm currently playing way too much Slay the Spire. Because I just have gotten really deep into just random roguelike shit. I'm downloading everything, trying them out.
I'm glad.
Slay the Spire is basically that the game is, that's the game. Like the whole game is just choosing cards and being like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But I needed to, but I didn't want to. But amazing game. And also, it's I haven't slayed the Spire yet. I'll say that much.
Have you given the first Risk of Rain a shot since you enjoyed Risk of Rain 2 so much? It plays differently because it's more of a platformer.
I haven't yet. Is it on PS5 yet, or just they did the PC re-release?
They did I think they just did the PC re-release.
Yeah. I hope it eventually comes to PS5, but also maybe if it like came to iOS, I might play it because it feels like it would work fine.
Yeah.
I do love the art style of that first one.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one. But I'm glad that you're getting into the roguelike world because those are good games. They make for good, just raw video gaming. Which, funny enough, Last of Us Part 2 Remastered has that roguelike that we played a little bit. We talked about it a little bit last week, but it's getting really good reviews. It's getting really strong reviews.
It is. I think like the first one I read this morning was, I don't think it was technically like a game reviewing site. It might have just been a news site, but it was basically just like 10 out of 10. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's one of the best video games ever. And then they re-release it and then add stuff and make everything look better. It's still
it's effectively a director's cut. Yeah.
But I don't think it should exist as a game you have to buy.
I think Santa Monica Studios spoiled us a little bit with the free DLC on Ragnarok.
I think that what should have happened is they maybe did like a $20 upgrade to both. If you had the first one, $20 to get the remaster. If you have the second one, $20.
Do I have good news for you? It's a $10 upgrade if you already have part 2.
Wait, is it?
Yes.
That they have buried that lead because I didn't know that. Like everything I've read is like, does it need to happen? Do we need to do this again? Like in terms of like, because the first one was full price.
Yeah.
So they learned their lesson, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow,
it's
I'm floored. I've literally not seen that in any of the stuff I've consumed about The Last of Us, because I haven't typed in how much is it.
So many people are like really upset because of these reasons and valid reasons. Like if this was a full ass price game, I'd be like, this is bad. But no, it's a 10
Because they did that already.
Yeah,
they already did that, and it was bad.
Because they did do that. Yes. But no, this is a $10 upgrade. Again, they should have just called this a director's cut, because Ghost of Tsushima did this with the director's cut, but that one was a $20 upgrade. I mean, if you're on PlayStation Plus, confusing. It was included. Yeah,
that is honestly the confusing part. Is they are making it very clearly a standalone too, just like the first one. So me, not being the smartest man in the room today, just assumed it was the same thing, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I didn't buy the first one. I'm not buying this one either. No. Because then I'd have to buy the first one. But now, yeah, I'm going to get it.
$10 upgrade. You get all the additional content. Now that's easy. Now that's easy for me.
I mean, honestly, all of these roguelikes I've been playing, I've bought them twice, because I'll buy them on my phone and then be like, man, you know what? It'd probably be better to not play it on my phone, and then I'll buy it on my PlayStation. So yeah,
I mean, you do got me hooked on Brotato. I spent most of my layover or my delay playing Brotato. That's how I pass it.
Isn't it like time? It's like a time travel game, like, because it literally goes quick. And honestly, if you're looking for a game to kill time, Brotato is so good. I cannot beat it on game. Level 4.
It is a fun game.
I can't pass level 4.
I'm barely getting to level 2, so I got a ways to go. Spencer, what are we talking about today? What are our main topics? Obviously, we just talked about The Last of Us.
Since we are, two guys that are all about being premature, we will.
Jesus.
What? What are you talking about?
Nothing. No, go for it.
No, we were both preemies. We were preemies. Mm-hmm. We were born early. What did you think?
No, just. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. You asked me to do the agenda, and I'm doing the agenda.
I'm sorry.
Early premature 2024 Game of the Year predictions. We're going to talk about some games that are coming out and what we think is going to be best.
Yep.
And win the all important and everyone's favorite game awards. Prince of Persia came out. We've already gotten games in 2024 that are making waves. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Wavy, baby.
And what does it indicate for the dreaded Ubisoft? We will briefly touch on, maybe after a little bit of distance, what was our favorite thing from CES that I really want, that you really want. Mm-hmm. What's the thing we're going to be spending money on that we don't have? And then finally, we'll talk a little bit about T-Pain being in GTA 6.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if anything, we just haven't had time to talk about T-Pain enough. And I would say, me and you, we've literally always loved T-Pain. There's never been a time where I thought T-Pain was not cool. And he continues to be cool. He's going to do some GTA 6 music, radio, whatever. And we're going to guess on who else is going to be part of it.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun because GTA 5 had a lot of people in there that people weren't aware of. So I think this one will be a little bit more high profile, but yeah, that's a good one. Let's start off with games coming out in 2024. Look, at some point, and maybe that's my task for the rest of this month, figure out a way that we can play like fantasy video games. You know how like you do fantasy Oscars or something?
I was thinking about this. We can do a video game draft, and then based on the like, we can either do like Metacritic or Game Score or like the average of both.
Yeah, maybe combine.
Yeah, and then just have a point system based on what, who's higher.
Yeah,
just make it easy.
Yeah,
like I win, you win, and then and then we just get the same amount of games for the year, 1 a month, 2 a month, whatever, and then basically that's all we get. So when the game releases, after that release time, like a week later, that's when we lock in the points. Boom. Basically, it's like the movie draft that you can do with Box Office, but just
I like it.
Video game review score.
I like it.
So hey, there's a game you can play, everybody.
Everybody can join in on that. I'll make sure it's like niced up or something, and then like I'll post it online next week, and we'll like actually do the draft next week. All right, so a lot of not quite as there are a lot of games coming out in 2024. I don't think it's going to be quite as heavy as 2023 was, and I'm not necessarily upset at that because there's still a backlog of 2023 games I want to get back to. So I'm not super upset if 2024 slows down a tiny bit. But let's do some quick premature guesses on who we think is going to win Game of the Year, which one's going to come out on top. The easy one right now, and I'll start. The easy one right now that people are going with is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have not really been like in with that sentiment in general because I wasn't the biggest fan of the remake part 1. Now that I'm seeing more trailers, more gameplay trailers, and more footage of the game itself, now I'm like, okay, now I'm getting a little bit more excited, which might be, my downfall. But I don't think that's going to win Game of the Year. My choice is going with Dragon's Dogma 2. I think this is potentially going to be, and we've talked about this a little bit, this is potentially going to be my new Skyrim. And I think it has the potential to be that high fantasy, RPG, Western RPG type. They're doing some weird, like the recent trailer was very fun. There's like they're having fun with it. They're like taking some risks. It's being kind of weird with the creatures and everything, all the character designs and all of that. So I'm looking forward. I think that would be my choice right now for frontrunner. I do think there's a lot of options, but if gun to my head, that's the one I pick.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So I think you're right with Final Fantasy. I just, there needs to be just a remake Game of the Year at this point because it's so prevalent. We've talked about this a bunch of times. But it's like, it's a part 2 remake to a part 7 of a story, and that's a weird thing.
Well, it's an anthology, so it's not really like, I get it. But yeah,
but it says 7, but it's like basically it's saying like, hey, we really, really enjoyed Pirates of the Caribbean. And we are going to give At World's End the best picture. Like, which is like, okay, but like, do we need At World's End? Looks cool. It's gonna be fun if you like it, but it's not. No, can't be. Not interested. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 has a legit shot of being the Elden Ring of 24.
Ooh.
They're not going chill with how big this game is and how much this game has, and it's like a little bit faster of combat. There's a lot of unique systems that it seems to have. Like, it looks good already, like, and it's still a couple months out, and like the gameplay you're seeing, because some gameplay came out 2-3 weeks ago, right around Christmas, and it looks great, and it's still months away from being released. So I think that's a good one, but mine is hopefully, my prediction is hopefully Hollow Knight Silk Song. Basically everything. Basically everything, it's Hollow Knight Silk Song. I want this game to actually exist this year. Looking at some lists of anticipated games, like everyone's like, this was also on the list last year, and kind of we like hinted at it the year before. And so we'll see.
I would love to be wrong for Silk Song specifically. Like if it's Silk Song actually comes out, which at this point not a real game, man, that would make my year. That would make my gaming year for sure. I love Hollow Knight so much, and I am.
Yeah, I mean,
it's kind of shocking how like I've seen like a lot of some content of like, oh, most anticipated games of the year, yada yada, and it feels like Silksong has kind of like gone by the wayside a little bit because we haven't heard any news.
Yeah,
Where
I think
like it was
because-
it was
yeah.
plastered everywhere for 2023. It felt like
It really
oh my God,
was.
it's
It
coming,
really
it's
felt
coming.
like I think everybody just got like kind of bummed out, and so we're like, you know what, never mind. But I think some other interesting games. Also, I would say first couple months of the year, lots of games coming out. Like lots of games.
A lot of games.
Like
it's top heavy for
like,
sure.
It's super top heavy. Like we are Last of Us Part 2, obviously.
This week.
We got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8. And this is all that's January. Like there's 3 huge games that you can play for a shitload of time.
Prince of Persia, Lost
Persona
Crown,
3
which
Reloaded.
we'll talk about right now. Yeah.
Yep, Prince of Persia. We got what else? Oh, you know what? Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Someone's gonna like it. Someone will. I'm not gonna be me.
I'm interested in. I'm gonna keep an eye on Skull and Bones. I'm gonna wait a week to see how the reviews are and how the gameplay looks. But Skull and Bones, maybe.
This is the reviews that I will give to Skull and Bones. Not that good. The answer is going to be not that good. It doesn't look that good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. But I'm like, something about it.
It really
curious.
doesn't.
I'm just curious. I'm mostly just curious.
Oh yeah. I'm curious. We also got Lara Croft Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. Like those are the old ones, like not the remaster of the new ones,
right?
So like, I mean, that's kind of fun. I'm interested to see and play that a little bit. Like, it's just there's a lot going on. The first couple, also big huge one. Star Wars Dark Forces is getting a remaster. Why not? Coming out.
And that's like that's not including any of the games that technically don't have release dates just yet. So like things that don't have release dates.
That was just February.
Maybe it's not as slow. Again, it's tiniest of a bit slower than last year. But like Star Wars Outlaws, I'm looking forward to.
Definitely.
Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is officially its name. Metal Gear Solid 3 is legitimately one of the greatest games of all time. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm looking forward to that remake. For sure, they need their own category remake. We need a remake. Separate remake category.
There's so many. Alone in the Dark.
Yeah. Hades 2.
Like that.
Hades 2.
Hades 2. Early, but it's early access. Does that count?
I don't know.
For like a game of the year?
I guess
don't
not.
know how that works.
I guess not.
Black Myth Wukong. Rise
Black
of the Ronin.
Myth Wukong, I think, has a potential if it delivers. Rise of Ronin, same deal there if it delivers. Because we
also Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. That's going to be fun. Like
yeah, it'll be fine. There's some options. I don't think it's like last year around this time. I would have been like, yeah, it's probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom, and I wouldn't have felt that bad. Like there was still my runner up, so I didn't feel that bad about this one. About that, this year it doesn't feel like there's like a clear like this is probably going to be the leading consensus. And then as the year plays out, we'll figure it out. But I can't identify one where it's like, that's probably it. That's like probably for sure the front runner.
Yeah, there's definitely not a clear.
No.
There's just really not a clear one. It could go all sorts of ways. Because a lot of these games, like, aside from the remakes, like, they're games that are relatively original. But it's like, a lot of them are like, studios that have been building on top of what they've done before. It's not like a totally like, oh, we forgot you existed as like a studio and now you just did this. It's like there's a lot of like workman games this year. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. I think there's also the just like the sleepers that the games that we're not even clocking right now. Like for me, Baldur's Gate 3 was a game I was not even clocking until July of last year, halfway through the year. So I think there's always the potential for something like that to pop up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I only understood that Baldur's Gate existed because Diablo was coming out for some reason. Like, that's where Baldur's Gate came into
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
brain space. Um, but yeah, I'm also excited to see like what's like the pizza tower of going to be of
Yeah.
2024. The game that's just like some dude made this and it's cool. It's the best game basically in terms of sheer playing a game. I wonder, like, those are always the fun ones to find.
Yeah. Like the ones that just suddenly get a cult following online. Those are always cool. What's the one that I just played with Pat? What's up, Pat? I just played the other day. It was the multiplayer game on Steam that's in alpha, but it's like really popular right now. Whatever. When I think of it, I'll come back to it. But it was a really good time. It's like it's got proximity chat. It's kind of like a Survivor kind of horror-y elements. It was very fun, and we were very bad at it, but it was a good time. Speaking of games and studios that are kind of like iterating or like coming out of nowhere, maybe
Yes.
Prince of Persia it's releasing this week. Really strong reviews. This is published by Ubisoft, actually innovating on the Metroidvania genre in a good way. I would love, and because it's only a good thing for everyone if this happens. If this is like a sign of Ubisoft starting to turn it around a little bit, as far as like, you know what, we're gonna go back to swinging for high quality, because that's how Ubisoft started. They started off with like high quality. We're pushing the limits of what this medium can do. Prince of Persia has like a mechanic. I forgot what it's called. It's like a return to area, like portal transporting thing mechanic that's almost like an unwind button. But it changes, like you keep some of the progress when you do that. And I think that's like a really cool way. Yes. It's a really cool way of switching up even just a little bit the Metroidvania formula, because then it's also impacting how you progress. It's like impacting a bunch of elements of gameplay with with one single mechanic, and I think that's a really cool thing. Also, graphically and like the art style, big fan. I think it looks really good.
Yeah. I was watching some gameplay, and I was definitely like, oh yeah, I'll be playing this game at some point, like for sure. Combat looks really tight. Art direction looks great. Looks fun. It feels like it's almost like a Hades light type of thing, because I don't think it's all that long. It's like, but it kind of reminded me of like how the combat kind of looked a little bit. But I think with Ubisoft's it's always a weird studio to think about and talk about, because they did do those types of things where they're doing like interesting stuff, but then they also, like one of their subsidiaries, or they published things like Playboy, The Mansion, or CSI Miami for Microsoft Windows. Like they did some weird, like they were also a pump out publisher.
Sure. They kind of always have a little bit.
Like, yeah. Like, they've never been the bespoke. They basically like came on and were like, we want to do a shitload of shit all the time.
But then they have like the original Assassin's Creeds, the original Far Cries, which were fantastic.
Assassin's Creed 1, good. Black Flag, good. Rest of them, not good. And Hogwarts Legacy still sucks. I don't know why there's been more stuff coming out about how amazing Hogwarts Legacy is, but I continue to be very firm in it's bad and shouldn't exist and doesn't exist. And I feel the same way about everything related to Assassin's Creed except those two games that I said.
All right.
And I'm including the Michael Fassbender movie in that.
Oh, no. Trash. Oh, no. No, I'm playing.
And I love me some Fosse.
It was not good. They have The Division. No,
Yeah,
it's look,
yeah,
they've gone through a little bit of a lull here in the 2010s, like late 2010s into now. So hopefully that's because who is it? Star Wars Outlaws is Ubisoft. It's not EA. So and
I know.
that initial like looks and impressions, like it's still a ways out, no release date. So it's looking all right. I'm hoping that like this is a step in the right direction. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that like Prince of Persia is game of the year level, but it's currently sitting at a solid, respectable 86 on Metacritic. Again, Metacritic, not the end all be all, but everything I've seen about it so far looks solid. I mean, I'm going to pick this up on sale
for sure.
probably, but
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna play this. I'm gonna like this is different from like, I'm not gonna look at Far Cry 6 or I'm not gonna look at what did they just release recently? Immortals Phoenix Rising. I just didn't get around to it, even though you kind of enjoyed it.
yeah. I
Or
think like
the recent
the thing.
Assassin's Creed. Like this one at least, I'm gonna look into, and then if this goes well, hopefully Star Wars also goes well because again, smaller studios, different studios that Ubisoft is backing here, and hopefully they're learning their lesson. Maybe go a little hands off and let them experiment a little bit. Give them money and let them experiment.
Yeah, I think it's a good move, and I think the thing about where Ubisoft has been for a while for me, for us maybe, is like it's truly like the junk food of video games. Like Immortals Phoenix Rising, I can't tell you a single thing about that game except I did play it, but I don't really remember it. That's like that is
Yeah,
Ubisoft for
yeah,
like the last like 10 years. It's like I don't actually remember the game at all, but
that's
it
fair.
was
That's
something I
fair.
played.
Um, so that's where we are with Prince of Persia and Ubisoft. We'll see where we are. Spencer, this episode is brought to you by the DMGT on YouTube. We have the DMGT
Please,
podcast on
yes.
YouTube now. Subscribe and watch because we get money for it now. We're monetized. Also, if
It would
anybody
be
wants to like
cool.
sponsor us, we were at CES. We are professionals. We are real professionals. Okay,
We have media badges, so
we do have media
please
badges. Give us money,
send us money. That's how it works, right?
Spencer. What's the one thing? If you had to pick one thing, what is the thing that you want the most from CES that we saw at CES? Because there was we
I
saw a
think
lot of
that,
stuff.
yeah, I think that the easy answer for me would be the AR glasses, but I already wanted those before
Mm-hmm.
CES, so I'm
Yeah, let's
gonna
switch it
say
up. Let's switch
no.
it up.
Yeah, that's not what I want. I think the whole transparent OLED stuff is more gimmick than like game changer. I think it serves a specific purpose, but I mean, I'm still wondering what that price is going to be
Yeah,
for it to be anything. Like if it's not within the range of like even just like wealthy-ish people buying it, then I'm like, okay, it's never going to catch on. We don't care anymore. But I think the thing I was most wanting to buy was the Hisense frame competitor.
that's yeah. It's
It looked really good,
I wish we
and
had
it'll
a
be cheaper,
price
and
and
that's been the
release
only.
date,
Yeah, but
but
it can't
yeah,
be more expensive than the Samsung frame
no,
because
no,
the
it for sure
frame
will not. Yeah,
sells
yeah,
on like the same level as their like one below flagship, which is insane. So I can only imagine it's going to be like significantly less than that,
yeah,
and it just currently right now would just solve a problem. Like because I want something on a wall that could also be used for like recipes in the kitchen.
yeah.
Um, and I don't want it to be. I just kind of want to stop having like an iPad set up everywhere, and just like make things a little cleaner, you know.
Yeah, that's
So
fair. That's fair. I like that. I like that. Um, Similarly, my easy answer would be the MSI Claw. Or the ROG Ally. Honestly, any of the handhelds. The MSI Claw is the new one, so like that's the one that I would probably want the most. But that is an easy answer because we talked about it last week. So if I were to switch it up from that, just like you did right now, I don't know if I've had any actual use for it, but the rabbit, the AI little rabbit device that's supposed to like be like your AI assistant, and it's just like a walkie-talkie, and it does like a bunch of other shit.
Like, what are they calling that? Are they saying like spatial computing? Is that
No,
what it is?
no, it's like a little device. It's like actual the little rabbit. It's in collaboration with Teenage Engineering. That one.
Right. Okay, yeah.
It's it's the R1 in voice commands. It has some connectivity to the internet. It just looks like it's one of those that's like, okay, what's the point of this? And like, is this actually going to be super useful? Do I need it? No. But I like tech at that size with the little screen. It has a fun name, fun little logo, the rabbit. And it's, I think it's one of the better ways of implementing AI in a way that isn't like super disruptive and intrusive, where it's like, hey, learn how to like, or keep track of like, when I'm like recording and editing the podcast, and like make that easier for me on like what works if it's like looking at any analytics or whatever online.
Yeah, I mean,
or just like I don't know, it just looks fun. It just looks fun.
It looks cool. It's cute. Like, it's cute and it's tiny and it's got a little, it got a little slidey. It's basically a fidget spinner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff you can do on your phone right now, like get me an Uber to, I don't know, the United Center for the Bulls game. Get me tickets to the Bulls game on this date. Like, there are tools that can let you do that right now on your phone, but like to have like a dedicated thing, and it's like, you're already integrated with your email and everything else, and it's just like you can say a statement and then it's going to handle all of that for you. I think that's some of that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a fun little device. It's just a fun little device.
I think like the thing that I
wish Siri functioned like that.
Yeah. All Siri does is just, when my phone's in my pocket, just interrupts my music because it clicks the button. Like, that's all Siri does, is seemingly just interrupt podcasts. Yeah. But I think the thing about Teenage Engineering, I think, is a cool company. It's very interesting. I know this isn't just them, right? It's like in partnership.
No, it's like it's a collaboration with, and I'm trying to look up who specifically, but Rabbit Inc.
Okay, that makes sense. But I think like the cool thing about what this could be is it's a weird thing of like, it's this other device for you to use your other device less.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the idea is, if it's far field microphones, it can like take care of like multiple actions for you that you would be doing on your phone yourself. Like, technically, is that going to potentially make people more present, make things easier to get accomplished, so you don't, like sometimes where you're like,
yeah,
what I'm doing on my phone right now, I actually want to go to a computer for, or I want to do the iPad or whatever. If this works well, and I think like natural language AI stuff, we were pretty impressed with that. The Sphere with the robots.
Man, that robot was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts.
It has gotten so much better so quickly.
It's a little, I mean, it's scary. It's kind of scary, but yeah.
100% scary as hell. But like, I don't know, maybe there'll be a brief moment where it'll be fun.
Yeah, we might find ourselves in a tiny pocket here where it's just straight fun. Like, you've brought this up in the past, like the early internet was, where it's just like, I don't know, we're kind of just like learning and figuring it out, and it's not super malicious right now. Yeah,
and we definitely don't need oversight at all. It'll be fine.
Oh man, I know people have feelings about like Teenage and Engineering and their prices and stuff, but this is a cool. They collaborated with the design of this specifically.
Yeah, it definitely
which makes sense. It has
like
that feel. Yeah,
design.
Yeah. We have those are our picks for that stuff. And obviously I'm still going through a lot of CES footage, so you'll be seeing a lot more of that on TikTok and YouTube. I still got to get full on impressions and reviews, best ofs, and all of that fun stuff, the weirdest stuff that's all going to become on YouTube soon, so make sure to keep an eye out there. Spencer.
Yes, sir.
Our last topic of the day. T-Pain, GTA 6. Are you aware of the circumstances around discovering this news?
My assumption, and I have not looked this up, but I have an assumption based on liking T-Pain. Did he just say he wanted to be in GTA 6 at some point and do a radio station?
No. But it's pretty close. So you know how he has like he live streams and stuff and does.
Yeah,
it's kind of a pseudo podcast, but it's like a live show, talk show, Twitch stream type situation. He sometimes plays games, sometimes plays music, sometimes just chats with people. Highly recommend. It's a fun stream.
Cool
it's a fun
guy,
stream.
dude.
Yeah. It's a fun stream because it's T-Pain. Of course, it's cool. No, they were talking about. I guess someone had asked him about working with or playing the role-playing server for a mod for GTA 5 online. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I think I wanted to. But then he's like, but I was working with Rockstar and they wouldn't have been super happy about that because I'm working on GTA, because I'm in GTA 6 and I'm working on GTA 6. I really couldn't get into it. And then like a couple of weeks later, turns out that Rockstar is working with the developers of that mod anyways. So he was like kind of pissed off about it, but like kind of not. So like in all of that, because they're asking him about playing this like role-playing mod in Grand Theft Auto 5 online, everyone's like, hold up, wait, what? Go back to like a minute ago. Did you just like casually say you're in GTA 6? And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess. And he's like, what is Rockstar going to do? Sue T-Pain?
Yeah, dude, T-Pain is one of the people that understands how he can remain untouchable T-Pain wise.
Yeah.
Like he's such in this pocket of fame. Like it's like he's in one of the perfect fame pockets.
Yes.
Where it's like at this point he literally he's kind of T-Pain is analogous to John Carpenter in a lot of ways to me, where it's like it seems like T-Pain really just like video games and chatting it up with folks and singing some songs, but he wasn't like obsessive about becoming, the biggest singer in the world or whatever. He was like, no, I just always like wanted money for singing and stuff, and I did really good at that, and now I just want to like play games and just like chat with people and have a good time.
Yeah,
and then occasionally do incredible shows, just like either online or in person, where he just crushes it.
I know maybe we've talked about this already, and maybe not, but like I always and I don't care if we have, because I have you seen his cover of War Pigs?
Mm-hmm.
It's so good, man. It's so goddamn good.
Yeah, I mean he's good at most of the stuff he does.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I love how crazy. Like he knows it too, which you just said like, yeah, I got really good at it and I made a lot of money because I'm really good at it. But it never comes across to me. I've never felt like that's like a cocky, like, oh, annoying confidence, cocky way. It's like, no, I just know that I'm good and I like doing it. And yeah. You asshole, like if anyone tries to troll him, he's like, no, screw you. I'm good. I have Grammys. Kick rocks. Yeah, I've worked with all your favorite artists. I'm T-Pain.
Yeah,
it's the best.
That's literally he. Like, let's say Rockstar's mad at him And he would literally just send back, "It's okay. I'm T-Pain. This helped you. This is a good thing that this happened.
Yeah.
I am beloved."
So GTA 5 had Tyler, the creator, wrote a couple of songs for GTA 5, like original, in the radio. And this is like Wolf era, Tyler, the creator. Same thing with like ASAP Rocky. I'm pretty sure.
When like basically they were all teenagers because this is like 12, 13 years ago at this point. Assuming like they got in during the production, right?
During production, right. Who would you like? All right, let's see. Who do you think is probably going to be on GTA 6, and who would you be most excited about being either working on original music or being in the game itself? Because it sounds like T-Pain is going to be both. He's making music and he's in the game. Either it could be a named character as himself, or it could just be like, yeah, my model's in the game and I'm just like an NPC. We don't know yet. We don't know the details yet.
So I would say when it comes to like famous people making cameos in video games or being in video games, I don't know if I'm interested in like other famous people. I think like T-Pain is like the perfect person.
No,
to
but
make,
even,
like,
not even that. Like I mean, more like artists, musicians on the music side specifically.
Yeah,
I think that's a little bit more interesting.
But like I hope that T-Pain is as far as it goes in terms of maybe he's like a side character you meet
like
up
in
with.
The game. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe there's a way. It makes sense that maybe T-Pain could be in GTA world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be that crazy. Same with like if Tyler the Creator did that, like was in it, you know, or like the Loiter Squad folks. It's like that kind of vibes with GTA. But I think in terms of like art, I think it'd be cool if some of the like graffiti was done by graffiti artists, like actual graffiti artists, as opposed to like designers. So that would be cool. Music wise, honestly, this is crazy that I'm going to say it, but John Carpenter would be cool if he did some tracks. Like, why not? He loves video games.
Why not?
He prefers making music over anything. Like, all he wants to do is smoke weed and play music and play games. That is the demographic of GTA, full stop.
Yeah.
Like, he could be, so that'd be fun. Who else would I want? It'd be fun if they just had like a, and I don't know if Theo Von is problematic or not. I think he is, also isn't. It's confusing.
He teeters that line really well, but that would be a fun one. That would be a fun like cameo.
Like if you just like on the radio, you switch over and like it's like 3 minutes of Theo Von talking.
That would
about
be great.
Stuff.
That would be great.
Like that'd be kind of a fun little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Again, I think he could be very bad. I'm not sure. I don't look into it like because I only see him on like Instagram clips. It's not like I'm like consuming his content on purpose. But most of the time, he's pretty funny and super
you never
offensive.
know what he's going to say. I literally never know what's about to come out of his mouth. It's insane.
Dude, his brain doesn't work the same way as anyone else's, which is why he's interesting to listen to. Hezbollah. I want Hezbollah in there. That'd be sick.
Would be fun.
That would work.
Sick. It would work.
That would work.
His persona fits the world of like a Vice City. Like if you're going like
he's effectively
Miami,
his persona. His whole life is effectively the cover of GTA Vice City. Like it might as well be him.
I want Pitbull as a like Easter egg NPC in the game. Like not Pitbull as himself, like not his like a model of him. I want you to be able to like walk around Miami and then randomly you hear someone go like Mujeres and it's Pitbull's voice acting. That would be fun. You know, where it's not like overtly like, oh, it's Pitbull. It's like, oh no, that like you imagine a clip of like, wait a minute, was that Pitbull? And he goes like Mr. 309 or something slightly different. And it's like, and then it's like, and he tweets out a day later, like, "Yep, that was me. I voiced some lines in GTA 5." GTA 6.
It's almost like it would be like
Easter eggs like that where you have to discover them. I think would be way more fun.
It's like behind me is Blonde, right? the waveforms of the album Blonde, where it's like Blonde has like a jillion people that featured on it that you can never tell. Like most of the songs have like 8 people that Frank Ocean just like put in a room and was like, "Hey, can you like fuck around with this for like an hour?" And they're like, "Cool." And he's like, "Cool, I'll never talk to you again." And then they're like, "Hey, I think that I'm on your album." He's like, "Yeah. Royalties coming." But it's almost like GTA. It'd be fun if they did stuff like that where it's like you don't really know, but there's a lot of people in there because these games are crazily deep for something that on the surface doesn't seem very deep, because it's really not. But it is, to this day, how many people are playing 5 still confuses me, because
it's
I stopped playing it truly the year it came out.
Well, it's because the kids are playing GTA online specifically. It's not that they're playing like the campaign mode; they're playing online.
Right, yeah.
Which still is crazy that it's like had this much longevity. Who else would I be like? Who else would I be happy with? Like either making music or like a surprise cameo like that. I feel like any of the Miami artists or like Florida artists are a little bit too easy. If you gave me like someone like I don't know, like if you just got like half of the Avengers cast like being random NPCs in the game would be cool. Or if you gave me like an original GTA 6, I keep saying GTA 5, an original GTA 6 like Ice Spice song, I think that would be fun.
I feel like there's definitely going to be some
right?
good tie-in songs for sure, and I think Ice Spice. I mean, that feels like a
layup. That feels like like the freebie right there.
Yeah, definitely a good idea. I think things that I would not want to see, like any I don't want to see like Ray Liotta. Like dead Ray Liotta as a weird character in it or something. Yeah,
no, that would be weird.
It would be weird. I think it would be fun if like GTA 6 has enough like player choice where like these kind of things can almost be like seek them out if you want them, as opposed to like ham-fisted, where it's like, I love the radio of GTA 5, of really all of them, but I think it'd be cool if it was like legitimately like, oh, I really like rock, so GTA did some stuff where like I can have most of my playthrough kind of like the bits and the bobs be more akin to what I like in terms of like music, and maybe like that. It'd be cool if they start like changing aesthetics, because I just wonder, what are they going to do with GTA 6 aside from just being bigger and nicer to look at, that makes it worth the truly worth such a long time.
I think there's no other studio that I would not like blindly trust, but like give benefit of the doubt other than Rockstar for this specifically, because Red Dead Redemption 2, and I know I say like that I don't think it's quite as good as like best game of all time. Like the kids love saying that shit online. And I'm like, it's not that. It's good, but it's like your best of all time. Like, no, it's a really good game, but like let's just leave it there. But it was a really like immersive world, even for the time, like even for now, like it holds up very well. Multiple years later, if we got like anything close to the player choice that we got in Baldur's Gate 3, but in GTA 6, I think that is different enough at that quality level, at that level of visual fidelity, of voice acting, immersiveness, graphical, all of that. That's, to me, it's like, all right, cool. They did something that only Rockstar could do. That would work for me. But yeah, I think that's an interesting way of like, if they paced it, like maybe some of the missions and the story enough where like you can fit your own music that they curated from Like, if they gave you the options, they're already curating the music, but if they gave you the options that it's paced out in a way that, like, yeah, so it's not just going to be hip hop, or it's not just going to be like rock country. It's like whatever your style is, you can like run that radio station, and as the cutscene starts, it still fits because we'll like transition into the right song that we have in our library of like all of these artists that we work with. We gave them this theme and these ideas. Execute that in your style. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, because I think like, just with how different the world of playing video games is since the release of GTA Online, I guess you could say, like it's not necessarily enough to just make a bigger, better version of it in terms of something as treasured. And I think the reason why GTA Online has like survived so long and thrived so long is because it is a lot about like, just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever you want, have fun, be weird, do crazy shit, break everything, like spend your whole life just trying to like ride a motorcycle over the biggest tower and like figure that out. So it does seem like, if they really steered into that, like maybe they did end up more at a player choice world, because I think that's like why Baldur's Gate is so impressive to so many people, is because even though it is all pre-designed, it doesn't feel like that. Yeah. And to me, even with GTA 5, story was already like the story wasn't what grabbed me, even though everybody's like, it's like one of the best stories that they've ever done. And I'm like, it's boring. It's so repetitive. You got 3 characters that you're going to have to phase in and out of. It's like really episodic. Doesn't make you feel like the game is as big as it is, like when you're playing the story missions. So I wonder, like how much organic gameplay are they going to figure out how to put in?
That's where they need to get back to some of their roots and some of the early GTA stuff, because that's, I can't believe someone's like, oh yeah, GTA 5 is one of the best stories. Like, no, Red Dead Redemption 2's story was better. And I'd call the characters of Red Dead Redemption 2 some of the greatest of all time. I wouldn't call the overall narrative and the story one of the greatest of all time. It's just kind of like a classic, old Western, and I'm a dude that's like trying to do my best. It's like, okay, 15-year-olds, this story has been told 100 times before. Relax, it's not the greatest of all time. But Arthur Morgan's character, specifically, one of the greatest anti-heroes of all time. I'll give you that in a video game. Dutch and like the gang itself, the individual characters, I think, are at that level. The narrative as a whole, not super unique, but still works really well. The point being,
really quick, before we go on, really quick, what's your favorite game of all time?
My favorite game of all time? The Last of Us.
Okay. And that was a really original story?
No. I've never said it was a super original story, but it was executed to near... Spencer, this goddamn video game...
No, I'm just saying.
Multiple movies.
I'm just saying, Danny.
No.
You sound a little bit like Uncle Danny over here, telling the kids not to like the stuff that they like.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I'm sorry, but you could easily say everything you just said about Red Dead 2, and I haven't even finished that game.
Then what are you giving me shit for?
No. But I'm just saying.
Oh no, you're wrong.
I'm just saying. You could say the same things about Last of Us that you just said about Red Dead 2. Danny, you just weren't at that perfect moment of age when you discovered Last of Us, Red Dead 2. Like if you were 5 years younger, I think you would just shift into like Red Dead 2 as your favorite game of all time. Like it's a possibility.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but
you just were too old and jaded, and Arthur Morgan was too much like you stinky bitch.
No, I'm literally saying that he's one of the greatest individual characters. The overall narrative.
I think it's fine. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is in the conversation of greatest game of all time. I think it's fairly in that conversation.
Okay.
Danny.
All right.
And I haven't played it, but I haven't played most of the games.
Oh my god. Do you see what I deal with? You see what I deal with?
I didn't like it. If you want me to talk about how I actually feel about Red Dead 2, floaty combat, and it's clunky as hell.
God, damn, horseback riding in that game was so dumb. Anyways, all right. I am looking forward to GTA 6, and hopefully we'll see how those predictions pan out for us.
I think we're spot on. No worries about it. I think we locked him in correctly. Don't even remember what I said about it all, so hard to say.
It's all right. We have the footage here. Hey, bye.